He doesn't behave like it, George Scott says, when it is pointed out that Frankie Dettori, his jockey aboard James Garfield in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf here on Friday, is old enough to be his father. He behaves like a kid, but he's in great form, and when he's like this, he can make anything happen. If Dettori can make it happen on James Garfield, Scott will join what is still a very select club of British trainers to have saddled the Breeders' Cup winner, and will be the first to do while he is still on the right side of 30. Victory would also set a perfect seal on the best year of Scott's life both personally and professionally, as he married Polly Gredley, the daughter of James Garfield's owner Bill, a few weeks before the horse gave him his first group race success in the Mill Reef Stakes at Newbury. There was a definite sense of the changing of the guard here this week, as trainers such as Sir Michael Stoute, on the one hand, and Scott, Hugo Palmer and Charlie Hills on the other put the finishing touches to their runners' preparations. Scott, in particular, has much to look forward to, and thanks to a big investment by his new father-in-law, he will move into a 130-box yard in Newmarket, one of the biggest new developments in the town for a decade, by the end of next year. Racing is a really great game for young people, Scott says, and being a young trainer, you can be given an opportunity and then it's about making the most of that, really. I started when I left school, and I was an assistant trainer for 8 years with Michael Bull and Lady Cecil, and then when Jane Cecil retired, it was an opportunity for me to step forward and start training myself. It's incredibly exciting to have such a good horse so early in my career, and the closer we get to the race, the more excited I am about him. He's moving well and he seems very bright, so I'm just praying that he is in good enough form and that he stays the trip to give Frankie the best opportunity to win. No one's riding like him at the moment, and we're very grateful to have him on board. Dettori has certainly been buzzing around the barns here this week, eager to crack on with his 6 Breeders' Cup rides at the end of one of the best seasons of his career, and the jockey suggested Friday's race as a target for James Garfield back in August, after riding him to finish a close second in the Acombe Stakes at York. At 61, he is second only to Ulysses in the Turf as the best of Dettori's rides this weekend. I've not allowed myself to think that he will win, Scott says, but whatever happens, the season has gone in a nice direction and will certainly be increasing the number of horses next year. But he deserves to be that price on his form because he brings the most recent form into the race, so I wouldn't swap him for anything. Scott could well be celebrating on Friday evening because James Garfield 22.50 has a very attractive profile for a winner of this race. His winning form in the Mill Reef is a match for anything his main rivals can offer, but his runs over 6 and 7 furlongs this season also suggest that a really sharp mile will be ideal, and they do not come much sharper than the turf circuit here. The Juvenile Turf is one of 4 Breeders' Cup races on the first day card, before 9 more on Saturday, but the European interest on the opening afternoon in California is limited to the turf events. September 21.25 is the second string in Aidan O'Brien's challenge for the Juvenile Fillies Turf according to jockey bookings, but Simi Heffernan showed on Highland Reel here last year that second strings can be big contenders, and she too could find this test to her liking. Forever Unbridled 23.35 did well to win the Personal Ensign Stakes from an unpromising position last time out and can follow up in the Distaff, while More Spirit 22.05 is a worthy favorite for the Dirt Mile. Friday's tips by Greg Wood: Newcastle 5.45, Me and My Shadow 6.15, Elegaix 6.45, Francis Xavier 7.15, Glacier Fox 7.45, Equina Springs 8.15, Casterbridge 8.45, Winfor Power 9.15, Young Tiger Newmarket 12.35, Porth SWTAN 1.10, Zamperini 1.45, All Out 2.20, Consequences 2.5, 5-star Story Nap 3.30, Sunblazer 4.05, Brilliant Vanguard Yotoxeter 1.00, Dame Day Company 1.35, Who's My Jockey 2.10, Kenyon 2.45, River Wild 3.20, Cobbleobo 3.55, Maid of Milan Weatherby 12.50, Alfie's Choice 1.25, Work Dubretto 2.00, Malaya 2.35, Sam Teagle 3.10, Aristo Duplessis 3.45, Carlos Du Fruitier